You're not good enough, you're not smart enough, and doggone it, it completely doesn't matter that people like you. Did we all not just witness the cautionary tale named Donald Trump? The last 4 years was a warning, not an inspiration.
The television host didn't come to make friends tonight. Bill Maher had targets, and those targets were sitting comfortably in their Hollywood mansions, convinced that fame qualified them for the most demanding job in America. The Rock, Caitlyn Jenner, Matthew McConaughey, Randy Quaid. They all thought their celebrity status meant they could run a state, maybe even the country. Maher was about to systematically dismantle that delusion piece by piece with the surgical precision of someone who had watched this nightmare play out before. The assault began immediately.
Someone must explain why celebrities running for high office is a recurring nightmare we cannot seem to shake. The Rock, Caitlyn Jenner, Matthew McConaughey, Randy Quaid, they all have suggested lately that when it comes to running the country, they have what it takes. And they do. Malignant narcissism.
Maher's tone was sharp, cutting through any pretense of politeness. This was not a gentle critique. This was an indictment. The phrase malignant narcissism hung in the air like an accusation that could not be taken back. He was not suggesting these celebrities were simply misguided or ambitious. He was saying they were fundamentally unfit, driven by ego rather than qualifications. The audience laughed, but it was nervous laughter. They knew what was coming. Maher had a target locked, and he was just getting started. He pivoted to his first exhibit, the cautionary tale that should have ended this madness once and for all. Donald Trump, the former president who proved that celebrity and governance do not mix. Maher's message was clear. You were supposed to learn from that disaster, not replicate it.
You were supposed to see that and think, I guess high-level government jobs should go to people who've trained for it and know what they're doing.
But America did not learn.
Responsible parties
Instead,
in
more
this
celebrities
debate
lined
seem to
up,
at least
convinced they could do better, convinced their
having a
fame
real
was qualification enough.
new
Maher
and
was
improved-
not going to let that slide. He turned his attention to the first name on his list, Caitlyn Jenner.
I'm sure Caitlyn Jenner is a nice person, but as California governor, she would be in charge of the world's fifth largest economy, based on her qualifications of being a background character in a reality show not about her.
The words landed like a punch. Background character. In a reality show not about her. Maher was not attacking Jenner's character or her personal journey. He was attacking the absurd notion that reality TV fame could translate into governing competence. California is not a small operation. It is an economic powerhouse, a state with more GDP than most countries. And the idea that someone whose primary credential was appearing on Keeping Up with the Kardashians could manage that? Maher found it laughable. The audience erupted. Some applauded. Others gasped. But Maher was not done. He moved to his next target with the same merciless efficiency.
Randy Quaid, who you will remember as Cousin Eddie in the Vacation movies and as Guy rooting through your recycling bin in real life, also says he might want to run our state. When did governing become the safety school for when the guest spots on Chicago Fire dry up?
The comparison was brutal. Governing as a safety school, a backup plan for washed-up actors who could not get decent roles anymore. Maher was painting a picture of desperation, of celebrities so detached from reality that they thought running a state was easier than landing a guest spot on a television drama. The critique cut deep because it exposed the fundamental disrespect these celebrities had for the office itself. Maher then broadened his attack, pulling back to show the larger cultural problem. It was not just about individual celebrities. It was about how America had come to view political leadership.
We treat government like the lowest rung of celebrity. Rock stars, movie stars, TV stars, Dancing with the Stars, magicians, congressmen. Governing.
The list descended like a ladder, each rung lower than the last, until it hit bottom. Governing. Maher was illustrating a hierarchy of prestige where political leadership ranked below even magicians. The implication was devastating. Americans valued entertainers more than the people who shaped their laws, managed their economies, and determined their future. This was not just a celebrity problem. It was a cultural sickness. He paused, letting that sink in, before delivering the counterpoint.
Governing is a difficult, nuanced job with people's lives and livelihoods at stake. Perhaps you've noticed that things in America have been a little different these last 5 months. That's because there are people back in charge who spent their formative years not on a soundstage, but studying the stuff you need to know to be effective on the world stage.
Maher was drawing a line. On one side, professionals who spent their lives preparing for leadership. On the other, celebrities who spent their lives pretending. The difference was not trivial. It was life and death. Policies affect real people. Bad governance destroys lives. And the idea that someone could walk off a movie set and into the Oval Office without consequence was not just naive. It was dangerous. Next up, Matthew McConaughey, another beloved actor floating the idea of running for governor of Texas. Maher was ready.
Matthew McConaughey is, I'm sure, also a lovely person, but when he says he's considering a run for governor in Texas, I must say that is not all right, all right, all right.
The crowd roared. Maher had taken McConaughey's signature catchphrase and turned it into a weapon. It was clever, sharp, and effective. But beneath the joke was a serious point. McConaughey might be charming, talented, and successful in Hollywood, but that did not make him qualified to govern a state as large and complex as Texas. Maher anticipated the counterargument. Someone in the audience might say, but these celebrities have achieved great things. They are successful, accomplished, beloved. Doesn't that count for something?
And I'm not saying that he and all these candidates haven't led lifetimes of glorious achievement. The Rock proved once and for all that weightlifters can drive. Matthew introduced Lincolns to stoners, and Caitlyn married the woman who married the guy who defended O.J.
The sarcasm was thick. Yes, they had accomplishments, but those accomplishments were irrelevant to governance. Driving cars in action movies does not teach you how to negotiate international treaties. Starring in car commercials does not prepare you for budget reconciliation. Marrying into a famous family does not give you insight into economic policy. Maher was dismantling the idea that success in one field equals competence in another. Then came the hammer.
And it's not that they are actors, it's that they're not professionals in this other field called government.
That was the core of his argument. The problem was not that they were entertainers. The problem was that they were not trained, experienced, or knowledgeable in the field they wanted to enter. You would not hire a plumber to perform surgery. You would not hire a chef to design a bridge. So why would you hire an actor to run a government? Maher pressed further, building his case with relentless logic.
1,000 things you have to know before taking office to do it right. And I bet those people I mentioned who are now in charge, they know the answers to questions that will come up. They don't have to look it up or ask.
The rhetorical question hung heavy. Could they? Could The Rock explain budget reconciliation? Could Matthew McConaughey describe the 3 legs of the nuclear triad? Could Caitlyn Jenner name the Prime Minister of India? Maher did not wait for an answer. He provided his own.
Could they tell us, I don't know, what is budget reconciliation? What are the 3 legs of our nuclear triad? What's TPP? What does the Fed do? Where's Chad?
The questions came rapid fire, each one exposing another gap in knowledge. These were not obscure trivia questions. These were fundamental aspects of governance that any competent leader should understand. Budget reconciliation affects every American's wallet. The nuclear triad is the backbone of national defense. The Federal Reserve controls monetary policy. Chad is a country in Africa, not a lunch order. These things matter. Maher continued his interrogation.
What agency is responsible for our nuclear weapons? What does the 14th Amendment say? Who's the Prime Minister of India? In the event of another nuclear standoff with Russia or China, describe Kennedy's strategy that got us out of the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Each question was a test. Each question revealed the chasm between celebrity and competence. These were not gotcha questions designed to embarrass. These were real issues that real leaders face. And if a celebrity candidate could not answer them, they had no business running for office. Maher then delivered the gut punch.
Governing is not a job you can pick up on the afternoon of the inauguration. You can't learn it on the fly. You can't fix it in post. Putin's not on a green screen. and he doesn't give a shit about your $1 million smile.
The audience went silent. This was the reality check. In Hollywood, mistakes can be edited out. Bad takes can be reshot. But in politics, errors have consequences. Real consequences. People die. Economies collapse. Wars start. And when you are sitting across from Vladimir Putin, your charm will not save you. Your fame will not protect you. Only competence, knowledge, and preparation will. Maher twisted the knife.
If he tells you at a summit that he'd like to take Belarus now, you have to know that's a country and not his lunch order.
The joke was funny, but the implication was terrifying. A leader who does not know basic geography is a national security threat. A leader who can be confused or manipulated because they lack knowledge is dangerous, and that is exactly what celebrity candidates risk becoming. Then Maher delivered one of his most memorable lines of the night.
No one has to tell Joe Biden what's in the Constitution. He was in the room when it was written.
The audience erupted in laughter and applause. It was a joke about Biden's age, yes, but it was also a point about experience. Biden had spent decades in government. He knew the Constitution inside and out, not because he memorized it, but because he lived it. That is what experience looks like. That is what preparation looks like. And that is what celebrity candidates lack. Maher turned his focus to The Rock, perhaps the most popular name on his list.
I'm sure The Rock is a good guy and a bright guy. And that is not enough. Not enough. And frankly, the fact that he thinks he can step into the single hardest job in the world with no preparation tells me one thing for sure about his judgment. It's terrible.
Being a good person is not enough. Being intelligent is not enough. The presidency is not an entry-level position. It is the culmination of a lifetime of learning, experience, and service. The fact that The Rock believed he could skip all that and jump straight to the top revealed a fundamental flaw in his judgment. And if his judgment was that flawed, why would anyone trust him with the nuclear codes? Maher offered one more piece of evidence.
You need more proof? Kanye West thought he could do it.
The name dropped like a bomb. Kanye West, a musical genius perhaps, but also someone whose public behavior raised serious questions about his fitness for office. The fact that he thought he could be president, that he announced his candidacy, and expected to be taken seriously, was proof of how far the celebrity delusion had spread. Maher then addressed The Rock's stated reason for considering a run: unity.
The Rock says he might be the right man for the job because he believes he can unite the country. You can't. Why? Because the blue states and red states both like your stupid movies?
The logic was brutal, but sound. Liking someone's movies does not mean you will support their policies. America is not divided because people dislike their leaders personally. It is divided because people have fundamentally different visions for the country. No amount of charisma can bridge that gap. No movie star, no matter how beloved, can make Republicans and Democrats agree on healthcare, immigration, or taxes. The idea that they could is naive at best, delusional at worst. Maher saved his most devastating critique for last.
But all these would-be showbiz candidates, you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, and doggone it, it completely doesn't matter that people like you.
The reference to Stuart Smalley, the old Saturday Night Live character, was deliberate. Maher was mocking the self-help. Everyone is special mentality that had infected American culture. Being liked is not a qualification. Being popular is not a credential. And the sooner celebrities realize that, the better off America would be. It continued.
They like you now because you're an entertainer and thus largely uncontroversial. Governing is the opposite. If you think you can unite the country, you're delusional. A space alien attack couldn't unite this country.
Maher painted a picture of modern America, so divided, so partisan, so entrenched in tribal politics that even an existential threat from outer space could not bring people together. In that environment, the idea that a celebrity could waltz in and heal the nation was absurd. It showed a fundamental misunderstanding of what governing actually requires. His final image was perfect.
The aliens would say, take us to your leader, and 70% of Republicans would drive them to Mar-a-Lago.
The joke landed, but it was more than a joke. It was a commentary on how deeply divided America had become, how loyalty to personality had replaced loyalty to principle. And in that environment, celebrity candidates were not the solution. They were part of the problem. Maher's takedown was complete. He had systematically dismantled the celebrity politician fantasy, exposing it as dangerous, delusional, and disrespectful to the office itself. His message was clear. Fame does not equal competence, popularity does not equal qualification, and America deserves better than reality TV governance. The audience sat in stunned silence before erupting into applause. They had just witnessed a masterclass in political commentary, a brutal but necessary reminder that leadership matters, experience matters, and competence matters. Celebrity might open doors, but it cannot sustain a nation. And until America learns that lesson, the nightmare will continue. This brings us to the end of today's video. If you enjoyed it, then hit the like button and subscribe to this channel for more videos like this. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.